Hey everybody, welcome back to another We Ain't Regular podcast show. I don't know, we ain't saying them because we don't know the name of it yet, but
Heard
hey,
that.
we're gonna get it for you. But we welcome you guys back. Listen, I got an all-star panel that's up here today. I mean, y'all
Show
see
you
it.
right.
Y'all see it.
Show
You know
you
what I'm
right.
saying?
There you go.
Got an all-star panel, but listen, we're gonna go around, say everybody's names, and we're gonna jump straight into it. So I'll start on this side.
I'm Janine. Hey.
Hey Janine,
Period.
what's up?
Period.
Period.
Play with it.
Of course, all day, that's your boy Ken KD, Mr. Smell Good 803.
Okay.
Yes.
Hello, my name is Tori, and I thank you all for asking me to join you.
Mikey the Hustler, man. I'm standing in Big Motion Podcast. You know what this is.
Hey, it's Pandora Davis, outerwear, Outter wear.
And it's Dave Sims. Listen.
Big day.
We're not gonna waste no time. Last week it was if we had Pandora to tell it was something else. You know, she was the only lady here last week, and it was me and Bezo and Ken, and she held down. So hey, kudos to her for holding it down.
We're gonna clap
She
it up,
must have
clap it
called
up.
in
Yes.
some cavalry because we got some heavy hitters here for the ladies, and so we expect to have a great time today. Last week we went over a few things that talked about the misconceptions or the delusions that maybe women have of men as it pertains to relationships, and men have of women. Delusions.
Right.
And so we came up with a whole lot of different things.
Falsehoods.
Some falsehoods. Hey, you remember any of the one falsehood last time that we said that one?
Well, I mean, one big one I remember is that, a lot of women don't think that we know how to communicate.
Mm.
And, it's a big assumption that men don't know how to communicate. So, that was one for me.
Man, he already breaking out the wine here. Is this?
Oh,
what is
man.
this? So
Look,
don't know
Tori
how to
already,
communicate.
Tori already looks like she's ready to say something.
No, like,
already.
She going heavy with it.
Good gracious. Oh, my God.
So is that true? Is
Have we
that
hit
a
subject?
delusion that women have? Women, I'll leave this up to you. That men don't know how to communicate. I'll leave that up to you guys. What do you say?
I think that women and men communicate completely differently.
Definitely.
I just think that's what it is. We don't communicate the same, and we don't take the time to understand how the other people communicate.
That's a nuanced view.
From my experience.
Because men communicate in a certain way and women communicate in a certain way, and a lot of times we don't want to come together and say, hey, this is your communication style and this is mine. Let's get it together. We just want the other person to communicate the way that we want them to. That's not going to work.
Nice.
Okay.
Any other ladies?
I think a man don't communicate for fear of saying something that the woman can hold against him. It sucks because some women do want to see the soft side and men don't want to communicate the soft side
Why do you think that is?
because they don't want to seem soft.
Or do you think it's because certain women that we deal with or dealt with, they try to hold that against us?
Some
You know?
women, I can see some women doing that if an argument or something arises, but you don't have to hold that against every woman because every woman is not like that. Some women wants to see the soft side.
Right. And the only reason why I brought that up because I knew she was gonna say that.
What?
Right. And I knew she was gonna back it. So if I ain't gonna I'm not gonna go into depth with it, but like you say that we use that because of, all women, blah blah, but like if we do something, they try to hold that against us from their past dealings with other men. And we get the short end of the stick. That's why I brought it in. Yeah.
But you can't hold one person responsible for what somebody else did.
Right.
You can't walk into a situation like my ex did this, so I'm expecting you to do this, so I'm going to treat you this way. That's unfair, and that goes on both sides of it.
Oh, that definitely
So,
does.
but you can't meet me and talk to me like you talk to her
Right.
because you don't know me. So learn me to talk to me,
Right.
and I'm gonna learn you to talk to you.
Well, see, everybody carries with them their own amount of baggage, right? So whether negative or positive, right? Because we can always look at the negative side, but there's also maybe positive things that you had from a previous relationship that you enjoyed. And then sometimes you put that expectation on the next person as well, but they're not that person. So they may not operate even in that way when it comes to something that you found positive. You know what I mean? So, and when you don't get it, then it becomes a negative because, oh, well, you know, so-and-so used to do this and so-and-so used to do that. Well, I'm not so-and-so. I know, but, you know, it's something I, you know, got used to. You kind of set yourself up with it.
I agree with you. I don't think anybody goes into any relationship without their experiences.
Right.
Everybody got experiences.
Yeah.
So you're going to bring your experiences with you wherever you go, whether it be a relationship, whether it be another job, whether it be whatever, you're going to bring that experience. Now, to your point, we shouldn't try to hold so firm other people to the standard of our experiences, whether it be very positive experiences or whether it be really bad. But I see where a lot of people have their expectations. They change their expectations based on their experience. So they're going to change it and hold you to those expectations because, yes, I've been in horrible relationships or whatever the case may be. So I'm definitely keeping my side eye open on you because, you know, I don't want to go through that thing again.
Yeah.
Or I've had an experience that was great. X, Y, and Z took me on trips. X, Y, and Z did this. So there's an expectation because now not only do I put that expectation on you, I'm looking at my past experience as a reflection of where I am now, right? And saying, I'm not no little, you got to treat me like this up here because I've had these experiences. I built these experiences to be a certain way. So I'm a high value man or a high value woman because of my experiences.
Say so.
So now you can't come to me and say you want, you know, you only make $40,000. No, I want $100,000 because I've dealt with $100,000 men. Or I had a woman to do some freak stuff in the bed. So if you just standing there and you just want to just, you know, whatever, I ain't down with that. You gotta do. So we cannot. I don't believe that we. I don't believe we can separate our experiences. Now we are responsible to respond to them in different ways when we deal with different people. However, we cannot. I don't know how we can separate our experiences, good, bad, or indifferent, from moving on forward to how we treat the next person. That's just what I feel.
The one thing I really want to ask is, ladies, can y'all stop hitting below the belt when we do argue?
Example, please.
Because, you know,
She was talking about.
same thing, you know, like, hey, if X, Y, and Z goes wrong, something happened, and then you will hit so low, like you will like hit hard, like it's almost like y'all
What's
go
the
to
word
the
that they use
foundation.
now? What's the word that what women use now to pertain to men when they want to hit below the belt? It's a word. Start with an S or something like that.
Oh, what was it?
Sassy?
Sassy.
That's it.
Sassy.
It's like men are sassy. What makes a man sassy?
I don't like that word.
I don't
because
like
everyone
it
has.
Yeah,
a
but y'all be
masculine-
liking it every time somebody say it on Facebook, though.
I don't like it.
It is funny sometimes, but we're not. Y'all not sassy because everyone has a masculine and a feminine side, and y'all supposed to.
But what
you know?
makes a man sassy? So when he talk about hit below the belt, when you talking about a certain word, what makes a man? I want to know from now. You know, you got the host of women. I want to know from women what makes a man sassy in what he do and what he don't do.
My honest opinion is that a brutish woman will call a man sassy.
Oh, what kind of woman?
Brutish.
What do you mean by that?
She has more testosterone than she needs.
She is in her masculine energy. Yes, she is living in that masculine
She
energy.
has that type of bravado where that's what she. If you're not matching her where she is, then of course you're gonna be sassy to her. But let me rewind a little bit. I can take myself on a trip and I can take myself out to eat. I don't need you to do any of that for me. So when you come in the door, we're on an even playing field. I just said not too long ago that if you want to take me to a park and give me a sub sandwich and we sit here and watch the people walk back and forth, I'm okay with that because I'm not that materialistic that I can't meet you where you are. It's about meeting and growing. That's what it's about. But see, and y'all want to talk about y'all women. I haven't heard y'all say some women or a few of y'all. But since we want to collectively put us all in the same category, let me collectively put y'all men in the same category. It is not our responsibility when y'all choose the brutish woman and then come meet a softer woman and want to hold us accountable for what she said. I'm not her. I will never be her. And if you choose to express yourself to me and it's just you and I, guess what? It's going to stay right there, just between you and I. But it's not my fault that you chose her. And you can't keep holding me hostage behind a decision that you made.
And just to piggyback off of that, I think that's a part of the problem with y'all men communicating is that you get so used to dealing with certain type of women and not being able to communicate. When you find someone who wants to communicate with you, you don't even know how to open up at that point. You just shut down.
So let me speak to a little bit of that. Great points. Let me speak to a little bit of this. How it's very hard for a man to feel safe around women at times. And when I say women, I do mean some women, not all women. But for the sake of what we're talking about, I might just say women, and y'all can say men all day. But we know. But I think it's sometimes hard because I've been personally in situations that, like you said, keeping things between you and that person. But I didn't know there was a tally being added up behind the scenes that was like, hey, and then all of a sudden, like you said, there's a volcano, eruption because of the tally. Because apparently I should have saw certain things, but I didn't at the time and stuff like that. But now it's a tally, but I didn't know along the lines. Now it's a volcano. Now, like he said, hit below the belt, things of that sort, and then we go from there. Now I'm like, what happened? Because now I'm like, I don't know what happened. So I think when it comes to what you just said, as far as how to communicate, we don't know how to communicate with certain women. It's because I think some of what I said, their experiences has led to, if I open up and really let down my guard with my woman, which I should, right? Let down my guard. Will she use this information, or my weakness, my weak points? It's almost like the Samson Delilah thing. Will she use my weak points to sabotage me in the future?
Sitting here looking like Will Smith.
So let me.
So it is an experience. I guess what I'm saying, it is an experience. So not to put that on the next person. I'm sorry, not to put that on the next person, but you will find, just like we find damaged men, we find damaged women. True. A lot of times in how how they respond. Like you said, the brutish woman. Well, to me, what happened to you? Brings about a question. What happened to you, woman, to make you feel that way or make you put men out like that and just say sassy? Y'all sassy, but I'll still X, Y, and Z. What will cause you to do that? To me, something must have happened.
Right. So here's my thing, right? We live in a society today where when we meet someone, we automatically try to make this person boo, right? So we're trying to not get to know somebody. We want somebody just for the sake of saying we have somebody. So now we're in these vulnerable situations where people who cannot handle vulnerability, right? It's just like you're a gallon. I'm a gallon person. I know for a fact when I meet you, if you're not able to carry my gallon capacity, I can't deal with you. So let me go on ahead and save us both the time and the turmoil, because I don't need you in my life to make me better. But see, we don't think about that. Everybody wants to be in a relationship. Everybody wants to have a boo. So now we're booed up with the wrong boo. And now that boo, you're sassy now because this boo who don't even know who she is wanting to boo you up and using everything that everybody has done to her against you. But hold up, you're just not her only victim. She does it to everybody, right? Because she hasn't dealt with her. It's just like red hot dogs. You boil a pack of red hot dogs, the water turns red. And you're so used to eating this every single day. What happens when you get a steak? Are you going to cook that steak the same way that you cook this red hot dog? You have to be able to determine who's a gallon and who's not. she's gonna have to be able, or if we're talking about women, he's gonna have to be able to stand firm, 10 toes down with you without wavering. Because the moment somebody shakes, that's the moment whatever you've said to that person will be used against you.
Wow, man, this is okay. You know, y'all put the bat signal out for real. That's all I'm gonna say.
No, that's
mean,
real
y'all-
good. So we talked about.
Well, I was kind of curious because we're talking about, you know, the difference of, and it sounds like, you know, you're saying that people aren't comfortable sometimes being alone. Everybody wants to be in a relationship. Everyone wants to be booed up and have that idea like that. Okay, so everybody, what's the longest time period that you stayed single?
I've been single now since 2020
2020.
and happily single.
Okay.
Have I dated?
Yeah.
Yes. Has it been, excuse my language, a shit show?
Yeah.
Some of it, yes. But it started and it ended right there. I believe in having upfront conversations out the gate. This is my expectation. Do I want to get married to you tomorrow? No. But this is the end game. Let us write the book. If we feel like we're worthy enough, let us start writing this book to our forever. Right. If not, we can chit chat. If we're gonna be friends, let's be friends. But let's not put anything unnecessary on us at this moment, because we really don't know each other. Right. And that's where we fail in communication at. Right. Because we want we want the Kentucky Derby. The races ran in 2 minutes. We want the gun to pop off, and then you want to get to the finish line in 2.2 seconds. It doesn't work that way. And so, we're losing that part of it.
Right.
I was going to say, in a lot of situations, in a lot of cases, I notice that some women, and they get it from other people, maybe social media people and stuff like that, that say, hey, if you will know, or he will know right away, in a short period of time, give it, I don't know, 30 days. Some people do 30 days. You will know in a few dates if I'm the one. And when they say I'm the one, I'm thinking like I'm the one to be chosen to be married ultimately. Right. And I'm thinking, you may know that she may be a qualified person, right? But that don't mean you the one. Right. Not in that short, because I don't, like you said, I don't know you. Now, it's good to get to know you, right? So yeah, we may chill out, go here, go there, whatever the case may be, but that does not mean that automatically that I've wasted my time if we're still together around for 60 days and I hadn't said, you know what, forget everything. I want to get married tomorrow. Oh, no. That's, to me, I can't do it. I ain't gonna lie, to me, that might be a little insane. I can't do it. Because you're not really investing, you're not asking the right questions. You're not looking back, be observant to see, hey, what qualities does this person display? Are they okay outside of me? Right. Outside of my help? Yeah. What is their emotional intelligence? Where are they at? And a lot of times we don't look for that. We just want to feel happy. Like she said, it's more of a selfish gain than it is something that we need to look at.
I'm going to tell you, talking about trying to know somebody and figure something out in 30 to 60 days, it took me 3 years being single just to heal myself. It took me 3 years not being in a relationship just to work on me and my own healing that I needed from not just the past relationship and things that went wrong in that, but things that I needed to confront about myself before I could say, hey, I'm ready to get involved with anybody else in any capacity. There's a lot of things I needed to work on me. And I had to get over that fear of saying, I need someone right now in this moment to help fill a void, when I really needed that void to be filled with me working on myself. And I had to get comfortable with that. So it was 3 years for me.
100%. It was 3 years for me, and I thought I was ready, and I was not. I'm still very much delusional.
Wow. So I mean, in what way?
Very much delusional.
Delusional how though?
How were you delusional?
I mean, basically everything that she said. It was 3 years, and I really thought, okay, I took my time to learn about me, which I thought I was healed. Met a gentleman, tried to take our time and everything, but you have to be able to properly vet somebody, and that's going to be different for every person. It may be 60 days, it may be 180, it may be a year. And emotional intelligence is so important. Someone can seem good on the outside, but you don't really know what they need to work on, what they've gone through, what they need to heal from. So you gotta take your time.
But there are indicators in the conversation, right? So if somebody can talk to you and they're steady talking about what their ex did, then they're not healed enough to even be considering any
Facts.
type of kind of situation with
Right.
you. And the same goes for women. So when you're having that get to know you conversation, it's all in the tone and how they speak about what they've gone through to determine whether they're healing or not healed. I like to say that I'll never be healed. I'm healing.
Yes.
Because the moment that I say I'm healed, here comes the devil testing me about the fact that you said
And the
that
trigger.
you were
Yeah, the trigger. You triggered.
Here I go, going all the way backwards, and I had did all of this work. I done came 2
That's
miles,
real.
and now here I go. So yeah, it's about knowing where you are. It's about loving who you are, where you are, and giving yourself grace. It's okay.
Right.
You got something to do?
I didn't have anything.
Now you're not gonna sit there and get quiet on us today.
So
Nah.
I was going to say the original thing that we were talking about is men communicating, right? I would agree with what Tori said. Basically, you have to know that people communicate differently, and even on our jobs, people communicate differently. It seems like a lot of times we'll accept things outside of that relationship, and then we approach their relationship is like zero tolerance, and that's not supposed to be. We'll accept our friend doing something, betraying us. I'm not saying there should be any betrayal, testing our trust, but when it comes to that person, like, hey, I'm out of here,
Right.
And I think sometimes, and maybe because it's a little bit more intimacy involved, I get that, but I think a lot of times, like what you said about the grace for yourself, if you got grace for yourself, then automatically you should think that I should have grace for others. A lot of times, that's not the case. A lot of people want to be forgiven but never want to forgive.
I agree.
Right.
So I think that is very powerful for you to know yourself, spend time with yourself, be okay with being alone, be okay with being in the silence, and then basically you'll know, am I ready? And if I'm not ready, it's okay to have friends. I got a lot of friends around me right now that help pour into me some of my where I may be in deficit. Like if I'm not in a relationship, anything like that, it's like, okay, well, I got friends around me that I can hang out with if I choose to, and that can fill a tank in me that I don't have to run and try to sleep with somebody to fill that void. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it can be something that I got friends, I got projects, I got business, I got things that I can do to help me as I better myself. So yeah, go ahead. You have something, Ken.
Well, I think it a lot of times comes from our experience and maturity. I think as we mature as people, as adults, we go through life experiences, and the same way that I handle things now at 44, I don't handle it the same way like I did at 24. There's a big difference from of life, just 20 years, and what it can allow you to actually see about yourself, see about other things. And your mind says, okay, so let me start evaluating more what's important. Really trying to prioritize what's more important, and making those things, kind of the first thing that you really want to focus on.
Yeah. Then Mikey, you got anything on that as far as what we talked about?
I'll just say, like a lot of people nowadays, they like instant gratification. You know what I'm saying? And just to hop on what T was talking about, certain people, they learn audio, certain people learn visuals, certain people you gotta touch it. You know what I'm saying? I gotta, and then like, with my example, I usually say, women, they use the left side of their brain, men use the right side of their brain, and if we can just peek on the other side and communicate better, I think that would help us out a lot more.
Do y'all believe in love language? That
Definitely,
whole philosophy.
a little bit.
I believe this is me personally, because I know a lot of people like stick with the whole love language, thing. For me, I think it changes and it's not set in stone. Like some people like, I like gifts. Like a lot of women I know like gifts. I want gifts. I see acts of service. But then it's something, this is what I say all this about love language. You may know yourself, but you have to leave the door open to accept maybe other love languages that you don't know yet. Because if you get with a different person, they might show you something different about yourself
Right.
that you didn't know. Oh man, I didn't know that I communicated or I liked this particular thing or I like doing this thing. And a lot of times people close up. And so love languages are cool, but that sometimes people use that to peek into how a person loves, what they want. I'm like, but sometimes you think you know what you want, but you really don't know what you want too.
Right.
So it's something different. You had something on that?
Yeah, I think it's going to change as we grow and evolve. It's not going to be the same. It may be the same right now, but it may change.
Right.
So I think it's just learning your person and
Right.
seeing what they need in that moment.
So you mean to tell me you can't come in and say, this is who I am, I'm always going to be this way?
Absolutely not.
So a lot of people,
I
I know
might
there's a
change
lot of
tomorrow.
people who come into relationships like, hey, this is who I am. This is how you got me. You knew I was this kind of person.
Oh yeah.
That's
oh,
not
yeah.
going to ever work.
What do you mean by not to go ever work?
That never works because hopefully we're always changing and evolving. I don't want to be with the same person today and next year you still acting the same. Something not right. I'm sure you had some life lessons along the past 12 months where you need to
Grow.
Right. No, that's not going to work.
So if you're not evolving and growing, and it's noticeable. So here's the thing: it's not about internal growth. If I don't notice it on the outside, I don't. Growth should be in all aspects. You
Right.
say I've grown inside. Well, what does that look like on the outside?
Right.
Right.
Like a lot of people don't want to grow, or they want to show they grow. Well, I've grown. Well, how? Show me how you've grown. So that thing triggered you the other day.
Right.
You and your sister had an argument the other day. I saw how you responded. It sounded like you responded the same way a year ago.
Right.
Instead of you saying, you know what, I ain't gonna go here this time. I'm gonna let her argue with herself. So I'm looking as a man. I look at how a woman responds. I know y'all do the same thing.
Absolutely.
So I look at how a woman responds to how I'm going to open up to her.
But see, a lot of people grew up, but not grow up. When I say grew up, that means it's a past thing, that they are what they are. When you grow up, it's a present tense. And then you can add an ing on that to a future tense. So if I'm talking to somebody who's only grew up, then I know it'll never work. Because they're stuck where they want to be stuck. They're stuck where they choose to be stuck. Now, if you say I've grown up or I grow up, that means that you're willing to take on other attributes that you may not have known that you probably needed to take on. So it's all about perspective. People wanna be firm in who they are, but I have 2 grown children and 1 teenager. Tell them all the time, you have to be in a space where you can't say that I will never change who I am, because to say that you'll never change who you are means that you're going to be this person for the rest of your life. As you grow older, you're going to mature and you're going to change. There are things you said that you did at 24 that you. Correct. There are things, I'm not even going to age myself right now because y'all probably be like, wait a minute, what? But there are things that I did in my early 20s that I didn't even do in my mid 30s, and things that I did in my mid 30s that I'm not even doing close to my mid 50s. So it's all about me being in a changeable space and knowing that the core of me will never change, but how I deal will. Like I have to be able to function with other people, because if I'm not, I'll be alone for the rest of my life.
I think there are 2 C's that hurt any relationship and any growth. Comfort, which turns into complacency. I think we get very comfortable in a space sometimes, going to the group part. You know what I mean? So we get comfortable and then we get stuck. And then once you get stuck being comfortable, you become complacent. Now it's like it's no real big, there's no intensity or no feeling that I have to change something. So, like I said, when you change from comfortability, you have that sense of saying, hey, I know I've got to still grow, because if I'm not growing, you're still going backwards. You know what I'm saying? Time doesn't stand still. Either you're moving ahead or you're going backwards, So I think in relationships, it's always going to be good to do like checkups. I think it's good to have like these report cards kind of thing, like every quarter, maybe, and maybe that's something that, some relationships could do, like every quarter. Let's give each other a report card. And this is where I feel we are right here, No, but I'm saying,
We
serious.
say-
But I mean, how else? How else would you know? How else would you know where you stand? Because a lot of times we hold so much inside.
We don't know we don't know how we are. A lot of times we think we have a perception of how we
are right.
So our self perception is always going to be great.
Correct.
Right? It's going. Well, I mean, a lot of times, like especially I want to talk about as a man. If we feel like we working, we doing what we supposed to do.
Yep.
And we don't hear no rebuttal.
Yep.
If we don't hear any rebuttal,
we good.
We're okay.
Y'all don't like to listen. We try to tell
Not all the time. I ain't gonna lie.
Immediately.
I'm just saying, as a normal sense, if we
Yeah.
don't hear somebody saying, you want to, or somebody's giving an opinion about something, or they say anything strong, we think we're okay. It's the same thing if you might think you're okay if we're not
I know
speaking.
I'm not okay.
But I mean, I'm just saying in a general sense,
Yeah,
if something is wrong with me, right? If something is wrong, you see something on the outside, or you see something in me that you say, hey, he needs to fix that. But I'm going about my business. I don't think that. And if you don't say nothing and you just, you don't have any comment on it, then I'm going to think that I'm okay.
I'm good, yeah.
It's so going back to his point, that's cool. We have to ask, whether it be a report card session or whether it be like, hey, this is a good time for me to say, how am I doing?
But we get offended so easily.
Right. And that goes back to the communication.
Yeah, we get offended. I don't like it. Look, let me, baby, I don't like da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And I can say it as sweet as pie. But because I said I don't like something about you, the normal reaction is to flip out. And
Or
now
shut
you
down.
wanna
But that's
fuss
where when you know your person, you you should use the right words. Maybe he don't want you to say I don't like. Maybe you can say it some other type of way so it won't offend him, but still get the point across.
But how can you say that you dislike something? Like I don't, and I guess that's my because I'm straight up. You look, but I would want you to communicate the same way with me.
I know a different way to say that.
How?
For me.
Okay.
I like when you do this.
But.
There's no but.
But.
So when, like, say for instance, if I don't know, the cooking. If it's some cooking, I'm just going some strange stuff. I'm like, I really like when you cook it like this. Versus, I don't like what you're doing right there.
But then that goes back to knowing a person when you first deal with them and you first meet them.
Right.
I mean, like I said, I'm a gallon person. I mean, you can only pour so much into a pint before it overflows because they're already at capacity with all of the bullshit that they got going on within them. So how am I going to pour my gallon into your pint if you're full of your own bullshit? You see what I'm saying? But then, like I said, I would never deal with someone who's not able to openly communicate. I know me. Like you can say, Janine, you girl, and you can say it as nicely as you can. I'll never be offended if it's true because I already know. I know me.
But that's where it starts. I think I was gonna say that's where it starts. You know you know your triggers, you know your tendencies, you know where you're up, you're down, whatever. That's cool. That's knowing yourself. Everybody ain't got that luxury, or everybody hadn't spent enough time with themselves to know themselves, so they won't be offended to the point. Because what if you don't know if that's true? That's the thing that we dealing with a lot of people who don't believe something about themselves would be true because they don't see it. That's almost like when somebody in church giving a prophecy or something like that. They're like, oh, that was affirmation. I know that was true.
Right.
But what if I mention something else that you don't know about? Well, that wasn't true because I didn't feel the affirmation in my spirit. But that don't mean you got to know. It's like we saying we got to know everything. We don't know everything. It's like if I got a spider on my back right now, a little spider, I can't see that.
Right.
But you can. I gotta trust. Here's the thing about relationships and friendships and all this stuff like that.
Preach.
We gotta trust people around us that they may know something about us that we don't know about ourselves. We don't trust people enough.
Well, here's something. T, you said something before we started recording. You used the word perception. Remember that? Perception has a lot to play in how communication goes over, right? So, if my woman is coming to me with something that she feels I need to know about myself, right? but the packaging that she brings it to me, her delivery maybe in her mind is like, I got to bring it to him hard. This is a man. He's a man. I got to give it to him hard. Look here. This is what you're doing.
Or
You know what I'm saying?
Can I add to that real quick?
Yeah.
Or I have said it different ways
Mm-hmm.
in so many different. Now I'm gonna bring it. I'm gonna slap it upside your head.
Right.
You a child.
So it's right. It's either
Listen.
no, but see, okay, but this is what I'm saying.
Said it so many ways.
But look, no.
Sorry, I just
But what I'm saying is,
I really need to know. Now wait a minute now. You just said if I done brought it to you so many different ways, and I was like, what else am I supposed to do?
well, first of all,
What is my other option?
some of y'all, that's your first option. Most women,
But okay, but I'm referring to what Dave said.
Right,
He said,
right.
I done brought it to you so many times. And now I'm gonna slap you upside your head. I don't know what any other option at this point.
I don't know what to tell you on
You're not
that.
listening.
Well, I think it's innuendo. I'm gonna go back to let them. I think sometimes women, I think you guys have the sixth sense, the woman's sense, and you see things in incremental. You see things where we don't see things. We see things sometimes in blocks. Mm-hmm. Sometimes y'all see things in incrementals, right? Mm-hmm. And so you might not say it directly. You might say it indirectly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so, or you might say, or something like that. We have to, no lie, we got to pick up on clues. Sometimes we don't know how to pick up on clues. We don't. I'm just saying, but certain things, what I don't want to happen is it becomes a volcano within you. That's when it's not going to come out right. Mm-hmm. So if you ever feel like, if I got to say this thing one more time, and it's going to come out like this, that point you have to know yourself, and you got to say, you know what, baby, I'm really trying not to get mad. I promise you. But this thing is bugging me. And if you say you care about me the way you say you do, then I need you to listen for a second. Mm-hmm. Please. This particular thing. And I'm not saying it works all the time, ladies, I understand. But it's the approach. If you go back to him, the approach. If you give me a car, and it's a brand new Mercedes-Benz, but right before you give it to me, you go to the pasture, and you tell all the cows, gather around. I don't want you to poop on this car. Inside, outside, all around. And you bring it, hey, baby, guess what I got you? A brand new car. Right. I'm going to look at you and I'm going to be like, I don't want it. Right. Why would you bring me this gift? And you thinking it's good because it's the car for you. But for me, it's the package it came in and what it looks like on the outside. Yep. And so a lot of times, I think this is where women win. If they use their wisdom and how to appropriate certain things, you're going to be hard. Men have gone to war because of women.
Yes, Lord.
Their words.
Yes,
Y'all
Lord.
Seen 300, the movie 300.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, baby, go get him. And he's like, King Leonidas, I will, baby, and get killed.
But they loved each other, though, right? Their love matched one another. Mm-hmm. The love wasn't lopsided. It wasn't flip-flopping one way or the other. He trusted her enough to listen to her, and she trusted him enough to say it. We don't have that now.
Right, that's what I'm saying. The trust we don't.
But you can meet someone with the capacity to love you in all of your unhealed areas, but because you want to hear something a certain kind of way, we misuse and mishandle this person who's sent to help love you to healing. But and it goes both ways. Let me not just say it's
I get it. You're right.
But we have to be in a place where we're willing to be vulnerable enough. You can't be vulnerable enough to just anybody. You can't meet somebody today, talk to them 2-3 times on the phone, and now, oh my God, I got to tell you my whole life story. Y'all have to build up to that trust to be able to hear. Because just like you said, you can say it so many times. Now I'm going to say it this way. If you really trusted her enough, she would only have to say it one time.
So where the trust went?
Was it ever built from the beginning?
Okay. So
we love at each other. We don't love each other.
Right.
We talk at each other. We don't talk to each other.
Everybody's trying to get their point across, more so than being able to listen.
Listening to respond.
Right. Yeah.
But I listen though. Sometimes it's all about what you hear and processing what you hear. But what we in women, we're emotional beings. That's what we do. Y'all need to understand that about us. We hear one thing, and we ain't heard nothing else you said. You said it at the beginning of the conversation,
Nothing. Sure didn't
and
even
because we
nothing
want
else.
to, I'm listening. I'm gonna listen to what you got to say because I don't want you to say that I'm cutting you off. But we only heard that.
I'm not
one
even
thing.
listening. I'm just
You're not
waiting.
even-
Yeah, you
I'm just
that's
waiting.
What I'm saying. You heard that one thing
I'm
that made
just
you just be
compiling
like,
my sentences in my head, waiting.
and you waiting on
Wait,
about to
soon
clap
as-
all
soon as
the
you
way
be
back.
quiet.
But men,
Yikes.
I think I need to move.
men, because y'all are not as emotional as women are.
We are.
No,
We are.
Women are.
No, we are. I'm telling you, as a man, I am just as
No.
Well,
emotional.
Definitely.
Yes.
You're one in
No.
a million.
No.
No.
All men are just
I'm
as
right here.
emotional.
All men. That is a
Facts.
really
You
big
take us to a
misconception.
football
there.
game. How emotional are we?
And that's men hitting each other.
But
And knocking
what I'm
each
saying
other
is there is an
what
outward
happens-
emotion.
So what happens when you kick back watching a love? What is it? I don't watch comedies, romance. I don't watch that stuff.
Rom-coms?
Yeah, them. What happens? Are you going to shed a tear when they finally get
I
together?
might. I
at the
shed a
end of
tear
the
for
movie?
the Notebook.
Look,
That was a
Did
good.
you?
I sure did.
Oh, I cried
That
all
was,
over
that was,
the
I was like, yo,
Notebook.
man, I
Notebook
got to
was
get out of
good.
here for a second.
But you got to get out of here. But did you sit in that moment?
No,
though?
I had to. Yeah, I did sit in the moment. I'm just saying. But I'm saying I sat in the moment. I believe that once women understand that men are just as emotional, we are.
We
I'm telling
just
you, we are.
we just have
express
We
it
don't believe
differently,
it.
and we have to
don't
be.
believe it.
There's a certain exterior. There's a certain skin that we have to have. Let me say this for the world. Hear me out, especially black men. All right. There's a certain skin that we have to have out here for this world.
Talk about it.
Right? And so what y'all gotta understand is we gotta wear this skin. We don't want to necessarily wear this skin for you, but we gotta put. But our natural tendency is to be sensitive as well.
We understand that, and we try to be there for our black men, but y'all won't let us be there. You won't let us.
Can I give an example real quick? So what happens when the man cheats on the woman multiple times and she takes him back, but the woman cheats on the man one time?
We are emotional. That's a great example.
Oh, my
She's only one time. It's emotional. It's about loyalty.
But
That's
you-
all of that stuff.
Yo.
But were you loyal to her?
Yeah, you're right. I'm just saying. I'm just telling you for the bigger sense. I get it. I'm not disagreeing with the whole loyalty thing. I'm just saying in a lot of men's minds, they can't take. I'm saying it's an emotional thing. It was wrong. He cheated on her. She cheated on him. Both of them wrong.
But
But
the
here's the thing.
relationship is over.
But
Because
but
he
hold on.
cannot handle that emotion. He's
Look.
emotional.
He's emotional.
There's certain, and let's
a good point.
let's
That's
just
a
be
good
real.
point.
Gotta
That's a
make
good
this
point.
make
He's
sense.
what I'm saying
no,
is.
make this make sense.
No, okay.
Well, go ahead.
Go
You
kill.
have to say.
Somebody wipe your head.
All right, ladies.
You want me to get that?
To pass the face.
Come on with it.
Now, as I break this word down, I'm gonna need everyone out there to get this word. Let it resonate with your spirit. All right. Now, understand that men put a different level of trust in women
I'm about to say something too.
off the top.
Off the top, we think y'all are innocent lambs.
Men,
Innocent lambs.
men. I'm
Innocent lambs.
Now, I don't know.
Does
We
I don't
think y'all are
know.
I'm about to
innocent.
kill that.
I don't know where.
All about us.
I don't know where the division happened, right? But please understand something. Men, we have given you a trust off top
On top.
that women do not give men. Why? Because if you talk to certain women, they'll tell you, I already expect a man to cheat. I seen my mama get cheated on. I saw my auntie get cheated on. I saw my great grandmama get cheated on. My granddaddy had a whole nother family on the other side of town we didn't know about until the funeral.
Like they looking around a little too much.
So it's almost like
Why,
an
why are you talking about me
expectation.
in front of my face? That's so disrespectful.
But I'm just saying though, like I'm talking about the initial trust factor.
We trust y'all off the jump.
We trust you all off the
Y'all are
top,
innocent to us in our eyes.
especially if we're handling business.
Yes.
Especially if we're handling business.
Look our face.
If we are out here working,
Scared of what she-
if we are out here working, providing, there's sometimes may not be a lot of time for me to take you on the dates because guess what? I'm working 12, 14 hours today to make sure that my check looks good enough to take care of these bills. And anytime that betrayal happens to a man, especially a man like that, that creates a dog for most men. A lot of times that creates the dog. Because here it is, I trusted this woman. I never thought that she would do this to me. That's why women get away with cheating more than men.
Come on now.
Okay, so let me say this.
Come on,
and,
Jesus.
And when I say this little piece, we're just gonna let it sit right here. We're gonna talk about it in a couple of weeks, but we ain't gonna talk about it right now. If a woman truly wanted to treat a man, would never know if she did not want him.
Come
to
on
know.
now.
Let me say that 100.
Say that one more time.
A woman can cheat, and you will never know
Absolutely.
if she does not want you to know. Hold it. Don't say that.
I agree. I agree.
No, we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait 2 weeks for that. We ain't gonna talk about that.
No,
right now.
we need to talk.
But let's be 100% clear.
I don't know.
Women, if you do not ever make a woman feel safe, she cannot provide a safe environment for you. It's just not gonna happen. So, when you cheat, when you cheat on a woman is so, and this is why I say we're more emotional than y'all are, because we still see the best in you. We still see the potential. We want to hone in on that and try to help you be the best that you can
I
be.
agree 100%.
But you done cheated 25 times and she done stuck with you through thick and
That's
thin,
why I tell
through
you.
the babies and the stuff. But then when she cheat on you that one
But that's
little
why I
time,
tell you that we are more emotional here, or just as emotional, because you just made the point. You stick around. We so up and down, like, hey, I can't trust her. And it's that aggression within us, because it's like, I can't trust. It's because we are just as emotional. I'm trying to tell you, we are emotional. And the reason why I'm saying that, it's funny. The reason why I say that is because think about if you had two kids. One can take something and the other can't. Which one do you deem is more emotional? I want to,
So,
The one that can't take
okay,
it.
so
Boom.
Your point.
who has no?
Boom.
Who
Hold
has
on.
kids, though? Who
Boom.
has kids? Who
I
has
do.
kids? How many kids do you have? What do y'all have? So
I got two boys and
I
two
have-
girls.
I have 3.
So yeah, it's,
Which one is a little bit more unraveled? The one who can take it and be like, she's a little bit sturdy, or the one who
my
can't?
daughters are completely like, I contemplate doing 5 to 10 every single day with my youngest, and she them little girls just be on a whole nother level. So my son, although he is emotional, he's emotional because he was raised just by me.
Right.
Not a bad emotional,
Right,
definitely not a bad emotional, but he's in touch with who he is.
Right.
But my daughters, it got to be genetic, because I wasn't that bad at their age. When I tell you right now, it's something in the, and they are, my youngest daughter, oh my God, I want my hair straightened. Because I didn't have the right spray to spray. My son, I need a haircut. Well, what's going on? The barber, he on vacation. He ain't coming back the next week. So what you gonna do? I'm gonna brush it down and put this little do-rag on and go on about my business. Do you see the difference?
Yeah, but I'm saying that's not what I guess what I'm saying. I see what you're saying. That's just something he just dealt with it, because he just dealt with it. But in my mind, I'm dealing with outward behavior, and all we have is outward behavior.
So women are stronger than men, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
I'm not saying
I heard that
stronger.
too.
I'm just saying sometimes in certain things,
Mentally.
men. I'm not saying stronger, but I am saying that men can be as emotional, and I'm proving the point by the examples that I'm making. We can be as emotional because our emotions can be unraveled sometimes more quickly than women's in certain situations, especially in a cheating situation. So I'm saying that, which goes to this point. I mean, I don't want to move because
Go ahead.
So
go ahead.
If you're saying something about the safe place, and I get all of that, I get the safe place and everything like that. Let's go back to one thing you did say about women cheating. I would rather. No, I want to say this. This is what I'm about to say. All men have. This is a delusion. I'm about to say another delusion. That because women don't get caught, that some women feel as though they may be better, more crafty, better, because they never get caught. And the responsibility is not on them necessarily as much as it is for a man who does get caught. Now, hear me out. Say, for instance, if a woman, I'm going to put out an example. A woman cheats, never gets caught, take it to the grave. Y'all know how y'all do.
To the grave.
Take it to the grave. You will never know. Nobody knows. You ain't talking. I ain't talking. Ain't nobody talking. You talking is gone. But a man, because he's a little bit sloppier, okay?
Very much.
He's a little bit sloppier. He gets caught. Because she didn't get caught. She knows this. She didn't get caught. But the man did get caught. he is now a cheater because his outward behavior showed. Watch it. Hold on. I'm not finished with the scenario. His outward behavior showed. Hers didn't show. So now we're putting a premium
Nefarious.
on the person who, it seems to me, never cheated versus the person who did cheat and got caught. I would rather know the snake. I would rather know and I can see the snake than to not to see the snake at all and it still exists. That's dangerous.
Yeah.
And women can play sometimes, some women can play some dangerous games when they don't get caught. You don't have any accountability when you don't get caught. You don't have a responsibility when you don't get caught. A lot of times women, because if we go to statistics, you know I love statistics.
Yep. Speak on it.
There are women relationships, the one that they actually say they did cheat. There's a statistic. Upward to 35% of women now cheat in relationships. It was a little bit less before. 35% than men, right? 35%. So about 65% of men still cheat versus a 35, right? But women are, and they said that is going up. And in some statistics, they say it's as high as men now, as far as cheating. Now, we won't know the true number. You know why we won't know the true number?
Because we don't.
Because women don't get caught, and they won't admit to it when they do, or if they do get caught. They won't admit to it because what did you find? You ain't found nothing. That's all you found? Oh, I was just talking. None of that stuff like that. So what I'm saying is, where is the responsibility? Now, this is not personal, but where is the responsibility when it comes to seeing?
No,
I'm just saying seeing it. The behavior. We see the behavior. You know, why are y'all acting like that when we cheat one time? But seeing the behavior versus not seeing it. I personally know I have some women friends who they've told me that they cheated on their partner. But that the partner don't know. So in their mind, they still innocent.
They good.
That's the same thing about women who feel like it's not another body if they circle the block, even if it's not another body.
It's not. It's the same person.
Same. Even after they in a relationship, it's not another body. It's not a violation because it's the same person.
Y'all don't count it as a half.
violation.
It's not a 1.5.
No, it's the same person.
But I want us to get back to what I'm saying. Basically, it's the mentality that I deal with a lot of times. Of it's not caught.
Right.
So if it's not caught, then it's nothing.
Yeah, because
It doesn't exist, okay? Because perception is everything. So if I don't get caught, it does not exist. Yes. Number one.
so you saying if you speeding, right? You speeding in the car, you not speeding because you didn't get caught.
She sound like a lawyer.
Okay, got
You know what she said?
She said, "Prove it."
Period.
Prove it. But here's the
Look
thing.
at your face. Don't do that.
My next door neighbor.
I need us to be straight up on this.
Oh my God.
He's 65, and he told me, he was like, look, the majority of men are going to be unfaithful in a relationship at some point. But if they respect you enough, you'll never find out about it.
Exactly.
So for me, personally, why are you being sloppy?
I got the same thing from a married.
If you think you big and bad enough to go out there and do something, I shouldn't hear about it.
Right.
Let me be delusional.
Yep.
Okay?
But then-
And if you can't do that, now I think you slow. And now I'm mad because I'm dealing with a slow nigga.
Right.
You can't even
I'm
get
done.
yourself together.
Period.
Yo, man.
I'm mad at
It's time to
myself.
stop this
I
damn
didn't vet you
podcast.
properly
It's time to
because
stop.
you are a little slow. Because, sir, how'd you get caught? How?
Period.
So that's why I stand on
That
it.
part.
What's the problem? You that messy? You can't not get caught?
Dang.
But then you always have a man telling a woman why she cheats. You don't know why a woman is going to cheat on the man that she's with. It could be for a lot of different reasons. He could not be physically pleasing in the bed, but she loves him because she's emotionally attached to him. Or he could be not fulfilling an emotional need that she has.
No.
And here come Bubba down the street saying what you're not
like
doing.
that.
So now Bubba finna slide
Hold
up
on.
in there and give her what she needs because you're not giving her what
Yo,
she
I need
needs.
you to speak. If you
Hold on.
Or I gotta get my lick back because
We gotta
if
get
I'm
licks.
What?
sometimes.
Licks.
Sometimes.
First of all,
Sometimes.
Now that's crazy.
I mean, if we
Sometimes. Every now and then, in order for me
Y'all
to.
got
It
y'all.
is every now and then.
No, I'm just saying if you've
1
been.
to 2 times a week.
No, I don't mean that. I mean like if you've
If
been.
it's great, 3 to 4. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I meant if you've been unfaithful.
Oh, be
If
damn.
you've been
Hey.
unfaithful and I really
Listen,
want to make it work, in order for me to forgive, I might need to go ahead and catch your body right quick.
Oh.
Just so I can be like, all right, we good. Let's move
Yo.
forward.
When you look at him, right, you smiling.
Right.
Because, look, you don't even know what I did, but I know.
Oh, this is that treachery.
This
This
is
is
right. We had to get all the way to
this
this
is
point.
this is that debacle.
We got to get through all that swamp to get to the clear
out of
ocean now. We in the ocean.
I want to hear you.
Man.
Pandora, what you got?
Pandora, what you got?
Swimming in the ocean now.
Hold on, hold on,
We
hold
ain't
on.
in no deep.
Come on, Pandora. Let me hear it.
I'm listening here. Y'all are gangsters.
Hey, we got a few more minutes, man. We're gonna wrap it up in a sec. But listen, oh my gosh, that's a great pace to pick it up. I don't know if you know you guys next time, but that's a great pace to pick it up. But I'm saying it brings about other points that we don't talk about. I think a lot of times we don't talk about these things because I feel like, and women don't want the secrecy from a man. You want to know. See,
Right.
women always want to be in the know.
Right.
You do.
You don't need
No,
that.
they
And it
don't.
goes back, and it ties back in with communication. A lot
But-
of times when we
but
cheat,
when-
it's because the
You
communication.
say women always want to be in the know about men.
Right.
But y'all not always revealing about what y'all do and what y'all think about. So why would you want something that you can't give yourself?
Because at that point, it's not deserved, right? You've done something.
Damn.
You've done something to make me tip over and see what this.
Well, we
color-
just talk
what
about
this
why
color
men
water
close
is.
up.
What the
We just
hell?
talk about why we don't do
But
that
you-
now.
but
It's a
you
double
weren't-
standard.
But you weren't open enough with me to not go cheat, right? If we want to be open, let's be open out the gate. Why are you going to another woman when all of this is right here in front of you?
Because
And
like
if-
you said,
and
Bubba come down the street.
But
When
if-
Sally come down the
if there
street.
is
'Cause
something that
you know what?
I'm not doing,
You know
then
what?
why can't you have the conversation with me about what I'm not doing that's
Well,
not fulfilling?
See,
I'm gonna just say this because sometimes your masculine energy is too masculine for me, and I don't feel like dealing with another man, fighting with another man.
Then why are you with another man?
I'm just saying.
Why are you with another man?
But what I'm saying is that here it is, our emotion. We love you, but sometimes we can't stand your damn ways. Sometimes, I'm just saying that in a sense of saying sometimes it's that masculine energy that doesn't permit me to feel open and safe enough to really say what I want to say. And then when I do say what I want to say, then it's taken out of context, or once again, you have selective hearing. You hear one part and don't hear anything else.
So that gives you license and permission to go stick your dick in somebody else.
Well, I mean, I didn't say that, but I'm just,
Asking a question you didn't
I'm-
say it. I'm honestly asking a question.
I mean,
Like, is there? Are you justifying you cheating?
men don't
So
cheat
why are we
for an emotional
cheating?
purpose.
I mean, why don't we just
That
walk
part.
away? I mean, we
No,
walk
you
away.
know what? So I like what Pandora said.
He said men don't cheat for an emotional reason. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Pandora. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying, why are we cheating?
That part.
They don't know.
I mean, why don't we
We'll
just walk
never find the
away?
answer to that question.
Well, we'll never find the answer for y'all because y'all.
What are you talking about?
Oh, we know why we do
Wait
it.
a minute.
We know why
All
we
right.
do it.
Listen.
Too much cheating going
This
on.
is all right. So listen, we just the why we might need to pick this back up. Yeah. Why are we all cheating in the first place?
Right.
Because people cheat. I just told you a statistic, and it's rising for women. So it's like I might as well put it up to 40%. The way y'all talking today, 50. She said 50. 50%.
Technology getting y'all caught up.
So we're gonna talk about next time. We're gonna talk about technology, technology, and how that goes in.
phone.
We're gonna talk about how technology,
You can't even have a burner phone. You can't even afford
technology,
another phone.
yeah, goes
But you out here.
into what we used to call that ain't cheating, but what it is cheating now. So we need to talk about that. Why do we even cheat? And what goes into that? Listen, I appreciate y'all for coming in today.
Definitely.
That's real. Hey, I
That
appreciate
was-
all this, the guests, and everything. The conversation was lit. We hope y'all come through next
Yeah,
time.
she
We see y'all
turned
again.
it.
All right.